Hello and welcome to Meandmygolf TV. You've joined us at the Asprey. I'm Piers Ward.
Yeah, today we're answering your questions on distance. I'm Andy Proudman. Let's take charge of your game.
Hello, hope you all had a great weekend and welcome to the Impact Show. This is where we answer your questions on the golf swing to help you create more impact in your game.
Absolutely. So if you guys want to get involved, go to our Facebook page, our Instagram, our Twitter. Go there today using the hashtag Impact Show and post your questions, and we'll hopefully be answering yours.
Yes, we're going to be answering lots of questions this year, so make sure you get involved. And today's question is all about distance, Pierce. Would you like a bit more distance?
I want some, please. Yes.
I think you need some, actually.
Yeah, I need some. Yes, please.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? So today's question comes from through Facebook from John Grade. John says that he's striking the golf ball solid. He's just going too high. It's not a sky. It's just going far too high, and he's losing distance. Can we help him? Why is hitting the golf ball too high?
Great question, and a lot of people do struggle with that, don't they? They lose the efficiency of the shot with their drive and they lose a bit of distance. Look, John, the first thing is you must get a fitting. So we need to find out where you are at this stage. So maybe you have a think about your irons. Do you hit your irons very high? If you hit your irons really high as well, then maybe it is something in the technique, but first thing to do is definitely get a fitting and see what your numbers are.
And it's a really important question because, you know, without actually increasing your speed by creating a better impact, you can certainly help create a better contact, but also you will be able to add some more yards onto the shot, especially with this driver as well.
Without doubt.
Okay, so without seeing you swing, obviously, John, it's very difficult. So we're just going to show you really what potentially is happening through impact, and we're going to give you a very simple drill that can hopefully help you work at this and get that golf ball going a little bit lower.
All right, okay, so height at impact. We see generally, oh hello, shaft's alive. We generally see people when they strike the golf ball, if they're hitting the ball too high with a shaft which is leant back too much. Now we can see, look at the loft I'm creating. I've got a 10.5 driver here, and I'm creating a heck of a lot more loft by leaning that shaft back. Now a lot of people, they are very good at returning the club back like this. Now with a driver we want to hit it on the up slightly, but if we get too much of the shaft leaning back, then obviously it's going to create a trajectory which is too high. Now we do see that, but more often when we see people into this position with more loft and the shaft leant back, the left arm, for the right-handed golfer, tends to buckle and bend and what we call a chicken wing. So you can see there's a big gap there appeared between my elbow and my body. So we see a lot of people where they'll come into the golf ball, and as soon as they get into this position here, they generally don't get the distance they should be getting. I know there's a few top players. Lee Westwood's in a similar sort of position and he gets pretty good distance, but generally when we see amateur golfers in this position, they are leaking yards.
Now usually with the majority of golfers we see actually an underlying fault that is causing this. So the first thing we would check is the grip. So actually we've got a video coming out next week, Pierce, which is all about the grip, John. So make sure you check out that video.
Timing.
That really could help or find the root cause of this. But certainly combining the grip and combining this drill that we're going to give you today, hopefully we can get you adding a few more yards and hitting that golf ball a little bit lower. So where do we want to see, what's an ideal impact with this driver, Pierce?
Okay, so look, I mean, as we said, it's very difficult without seeing the swing, but you'll see that the best players in the world and the better people, the more efficient people with a driver, will have the club shaft and the left arm pretty much in a straight line. It's not an absolute, but pretty much if you can have the shaft and the arm in line at impact, you can have a pretty good position. That's with the driver, don't forget it's up on a nice big tee. That's where we'd want you to be.
And that's delivering that sort of loft that you've actually got on the golf club there. Like you said, 10.5 degrees loft there with this shaft in that neutral position. You're sort of presenting that true loft to the golf ball.
Exactly. It's never going to be an exact, but you know, as soon as you are in this position, you're creating that loft. Obviously here you can see if I straighten the arm and the club out, that relationship there, you can see the loft has definitely lowered.
Okay, so that's where we would like to be, John. That's where we'd like to see you. We're guessing that you probably are a little bit there. So Pierce, let's go through a very simple drill that
it has to be very simple, Andy, because if we just said to you, John, go ahead and make sure when you strike the golf ball that you're in that position there, well, number one, you've probably got no way of finding out whether you get there unless it's videoed, and number two, guess what, it's just so hard to do that. So you need to program it almost in a smaller swing. So we like to get people, I'm just going to make sure I don't get you there, Andy. Might get the golf bag, this could be an expensive shot. Here's my chance to get him. No, what we like to get people to do is to have a mini backswing and a mini through swing. Now, I'm going to do this repeatedly. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I know, Andy, you'll want to as well. But just notice what I'm doing when I'm doing this. Number one, the left arm and the club are pretty much staying in that sort of straight line as it appears from this camera view here. It's not straight like that, but it appears from the camera view that it's in a straight line. So that's me getting better loft on the club. Now as I swing through, you'll notice that everything is turning. So as I swing through the shot now, the club face has turned a lot. The forearms, the hands, the hips, the torso, the knees, everything is rotating. When we see people get a bit stuck at impact, there's a lack of rotation. The hips, the belt buckle is facing forward too much. The chest is facing forward too much. That rotation isn't there. And we know that if we can get the loft lower in your case and get you rotating better, guess what? You can hit it a lot further.
Definitely. And it's a very different action with the hands and the arms here as well. What we see, as we can see here, the face is rotating here now, and the left wrist is staying quite neutral. Now what Pierce demonstrated with the shaft being back at impact, where that sort of left wrist goes cupped, it makes it very difficult then on the way through for the face to turn. So there's that height, the face is still looking up there, and we have this breakdown of the wrists. Whereas, as what Pierce is demonstrating here, the face is turning and the left wrist is staying in a more neutral position, and that arm's extended. It's a great way to get everything, Pierce, isn't it?
Absolutely, without doubt. I mean, and the thing is that, you know, I'm demonstrating the length of the swing here that I want you to hit the golf ball with. So in fact, should we have a go at hitting one?
Give it a shot.
We're literally going to hit this golf ball 40 to 50 yards just to get the feel for it. So I'm going to have one practice swing here with a bit more freedom. You can see how soft I'm hitting this, and sorry, how short the swing is, but I'm keeping the power down as well. Okay, so the thing I want you to do on this one is to make sure when you hit the shot, you hold your finish and you assess, are you in the positions that we want you to be in? So let's have a go at that. So back, through. You can see I'm doing my best to restrict the club on the way through so I can assess. Well, that looks pretty good.
Both arms extended, club face is pointing towards the green, actually towards the golfers on the 18th green
Yep.
over there. So there's a great, you know, like you say, Pierce, you're actually stopping and holding feedback. Now, if you hit the golf ball and you stop and you're here, you're going to notice that
Yep.
chicken wing, or you're going to notice the club face or the left wrist. So
Definitely.
it's really important to create that awareness. Now, if you took that to a full swing straight away, how do you know what's happened through that impact area? You know, this is really the most important part in the golf swing. So if you can actually work at impact and then build that into the full golf swing, it creates that awareness, and then it's easier, Pierce.
Absolutely, John. So if you do know, this is the best way to handle this, if you do know that you're here, or you just want to have a go at this drill, I'd recommend if you go and hit 100 golf balls, that you hit 90 balls doing that mini drill. There's no point going there and saying, well, I'll have 20 goes out of 100, because it's not going to then rewrite the old software, if that's what it means, if that's the best way of explaining it. But if you did that 90 times out of 100 for the next 6 to 7 weeks, who knows, maybe you can get that, well, I guarantee you'll get the ball flight though.
Definitely.
You'll definitely get a bit more distance, just in time for the season, hopefully.
Exactly. Okay, so a bit of a different there, nothing to do with speed there at all. It's all about creating the right loft at impact and sort of working on the hands and the arms through the ball. So hopefully that's give you some interesting stuff there, and give you an insight of really a very easy, simple drill that anyone can do to create a better impact and a better motion.
I think once you feel you've got it down, doing it with the soft shots and the 50, 60 yard shots, try and hit it 130 yards, 140 yards with the same length swing. So put a little bit of speed into that motion, but definitely start soft.
Perfect. Okay, hope that helps. Post your questions down below. We'd love to answer any more questions on that or even on distance, so get posting those down below. Remember to go to Facebook, Twitter and Instagram if you want to get involved and get posting those questions. We've got loads coming through, so we'd love to answer yours as well.
Hashtag Impact Show.
Impact Show. Okay, so remember to check out Meandmygolf.com. Lots more videos on there on all areas of the game. So yeah, Pierce, we'll see you next week on the Impact Show. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.